Hey everybody, this is Mr. Lidkey, and today I'm going to show you how to do this effective mutations sheet. And this will give us a much better understanding of what mutations are and what effects mutations can have. So here we go. So if we look at the way I've got it set up already, we notice I've got in the coding DNA strand right here, I've got this start codon of TAC. So that is where I start breaking up the nucleotide sequence into threes. Like I do not start it at the very beginning. I started at the TAC. So, okay. Then if you look at yours, obviously yours for the mRNA row, it's blank. So it's still the idea of complementary base pairing that we've dealt with before. So G and C always pair, and then A will pair with, like if there's a T in the DNA, well then A will pair with it in the RNA. But the language of RNA has U's, no T's. So if we look in this full row there are no T's in that row, only U's. Okay, and the same deal here for the transfer RNA row. It's still an RNA. There are no T's. All right, so I've already got the first two decoded. So if we look at this sequence right here of UAC, that codes for start. And the next sequence over ACG, that codes for this. So then here, if we look at this one right here, if we want to figure out what does this code for. All right, so now if I look, I have the color gene sheet. Some people have the color gene sheet. Some people have the cell division sheet. So you got to make sure that you use the right table. Okay, so me personally, I'm not going to use the cell division table here. I'm going to go down here to the color gene. Okay, so like I've already got it marked out here. Whoops, that was for my previous example. Hold on. Okay, and I go back up. So I've got my sequence of CGC. All right, so if I have CGC, so still the idea of the table here that we've dealt with before, so nothing new. We're going to go down until we hit the first letter, C. Then we're going to go right until we get underneath the second letter, G. So we would be in this box. And then that's where the third letter comes in, C. So in particular, it would code for protein. So if we look at this table, we notice that there are not true amino acid names in here, but we are using words to represent amino acids to give us a better idea of the effects that mutations can have. So when I go back up to my table up here, or my nucleotide sequence, what I'm going to put in here is I'm going to put protein. So now when I decode this whole thing, I'm going to get a full sentence. Okay, and when you do that, if you don't get a full sentence, something went wrong and you need to figure out what went wrong. Okay, now to save you some work, so if we look at this right here, we notice that this and this is the same as what's up here. Well then, okay, if we got up here, if we got this, well, we are also going to get this here, and we're also going to get this here. But now if we look at the next one down here, right here, notice that this group of three is different than the group of three that's above it here. So we need to go through the work and we need to figure that out. Okay, kind of the same deal for right here. Notice that this is the same as that, which is the same as that. So of course, if we got protein here, well, we're going to get protein here, and we're going to get protein here. So all these, like, pay attention. But if we look right here, here is where our mutation is. Okay, we have this G that is underlined. And if we look at the normal DNA strand up here, we have the sequence of TTC. But in mutation number 1 right here, we have the sequence of TTG. So yeah, we need to go through and we need to figure out, what does that actually code for? So yeah, you got to do this whole thing. And then the same deal for right here. Okay, here we have an A, which is different than in the normal DNA where it is TTC. Here we have TTA. So we need to go through the work, figure out what do we get. So what we should get is we should get a sentence for the first 3. All right, but then if we go down here to mutation number 3 and mutation number 4, so right in here, we notice that there's this little dash. Okay, like what that means is that's where the mutation occurred. And if we look, we have, it's like it says, the normal DNA strand starts GCTACACG. Well, here we have that same thing, okay, but we're missing what happened there is we're missing this C right there. That's what's gone out of there. Well, of course, we want to know what effect did that have. All right, now if we're looking at this, in here, like these are our groups of 3s, like this is our codon. So we always need to have 3 nucleotides in a group, all right? And so you got to go through, do your decoding and figure out, do we still get a sentence here? Okay, and then same deal for mutation number 4 right here. Okay, and again it says, notice the normal DNA starts GCTACACG. Well, here we have GTACAACG. So in other words, that's an extra A right there. So now, again, notice like I have mine broken up into 3 nucleotides. But again, we need to figure out what is our protein. And, do we still get a sentence here? Okay. And then once you got that, then go ahead and work on the questions here. But personally, I think this is a great activity for showing what effects mutations can have. So if you got any questions, please let me know. All right, have a great day. Bye.